Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Razzle Report, your ultimate destination for sensational celebrity news and explosive entertainment analysis. I'm your host, Rex the Razzle Ravencroft, and tonight we embark on an epic journey into one of the most electrifying moments in recent award show history. At the SAG Awards, the incomparable Jane Fonda, now 87, accepted the prestigious SAG Lifetime Achievement Award with a speech that set the stage for a bold new chapter in political activism and social justice in Hollywood. In her impassioned address, Fonda declared, "Empathy is not weak or awakened. And by the way, woke just means you give a damn about other people," a statement that reverberated across the industry and beyond. Over the next several hours, and across more than 10,000 words, we'll peel back every layer of this landmark moment. We'll explore Fonda's storied career spanning 6 decades, her unwavering commitment to activism, and how her speech serves as both a rallying cry for resistance against oppressive policies and a testament to the enduring power of empathy in times of political and social turmoil. We'll also examine the historical context of her words, the legacy of her family's cinematic contributions, and the cultural implications of her message in today's divisive climate. So, strap in as we journey through the riveting story behind Jane Fonda's SAG Awards triumph. The Shrine Auditorium was electric on that unforgettable night, and as Jane Fonda ascended the stage to accept the SAG Lifetime Achievement Award, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. With decades of groundbreaking work behind her, from iconic films like Clute and Coming Home to the enduring legacy of activism during the anti-Vietnam War era, Fonda's presence commands respect. But it wasn't just her illustrious career that captivated the audience, it was her message. In her acceptance speech, Fonda delivered a powerful call to arms for the Hollywood community and the nation at large. Make no mistake, empathy is not weak or awakened. And by the way, woke just means you give a damn about other people, she stated with conviction. With those words, she reframed the term woke from a dismissive pejorative into a badge of honor, a call for compassion and accountability amid a time of crisis. As the room erupted in applause, her words echoed in the hearts of those who believe that true strength lies in the ability to care for others. Fonda's speech was not only a celebration of her career achievements but also an impassioned denunciation of policies and actions that have hurt countless people. "A whole lot of people are going to be really hurt by what is happening, what is coming our way," she warned, urging everyone to build a big tent of community to resist forces that would weaken workers' power and dismantle solidarity. Her message was clear: in these turbulent times, unity and empathy are the only paths forward. Jane Fonda's career is a tapestry woven with threads of activism and cinematic brilliance. Beginning her journey at the end of McCarthyism and the Red Scare, Fonda quickly became a polarizing figure, championing causes that many found controversial, especially during the anti-Vietnam War movement of the 1970s. Over the years, her unwavering commitment to social justice, environmental causes, and political reform has made her a beacon for generations of activists. Her SAG speech harkened back to those early days when speaking out was not only courageous but dangerous. Today, with issues like climate change, workers' rights, and political polarization at the forefront, Fonda's message remains as urgent as ever. "This is big-time serious, folks, so let's be brave," she urged, calling on the Hollywood community to stand together and fight for a better future. Fonda's legacy is not just measured by her awards, 2 Oscars, an Emmy, 7 Golden Globes, and numerous Lifetime Achievement honors, but also by her indomitable spirit and her refusal to be silenced by or political corporate pressures. In her speech, she touched on the importance of empathy and community, emphasizing that the arts and activism are intertwined, and that true progress depends on our ability to care for one another. At the core of Fonda's message was a redefinition of empathy, a quality that, in today's cynical climate, is often dismissed as woke or weak. Fonda shattered that misconception by asserting that empathy is the very foundation of effective resistance and genuine leadership. "Empathy is not weak or woke," she proclaimed, challenging the narrative that caring for others is a sign of vulnerability. Instead, she argued, it is a sign of strength, a tool for uniting communities, and a necessary ingredient for confronting systemic injustice. Her words resonated with audiences around the world, many of whom have grown weary of divisive rhetoric and empty platitudes. In an era where political discourse is increasingly dominated by self-interest and polarization, Fonda's passionate call for empathy struck a powerful chord. It reminded us that in order to build a better society, we must first look inward and ask ourselves if we truly care for the well-being of our fellow human beings. The idea that empathy could be a transformative force in society is not new, but Fonda's delivery on the SAG stage gave it new life. It served as a reminder that real change starts with a simple, yet profound act, caring enough to take action, to listen, and to stand in solidarity with those who are marginalized or oppressed. For Fonda, empathy is not a weakness, it is a radical act of love and defiance in a world that often seems devoid of compassion. Jane Fonda's speech was a rallying cry for the Hollywood community, a reminder that those who have dedicated their lives to storytelling and art have a unique power to inspire change. We must not isolate. We must stay in community, she urged, emphasizing that collective action is the antidote to the forces that seek to divide us. Her call for unity was particularly poignant in the current political climate, where corporate interests, political agendas, and divisive ideologies threaten to erode the very fabric of society. Fonda's words reminded her peers and fans alike that community means power and that when people come together, they can create a formidable force for resistance. In her speech, she paid homage to the resilience of workers and the importance of supporting those who are most vulnerable. This message is not only relevant in the context of current political battles but also serves as a timeless reminder of the strength found in solidarity. Her remarks struck a chord among union members, activists, and everyday citizens who have long fought against systems designed to strip away their rights and dignity. In a world where the power dynamics are constantly shifting, Fonda's call to project an inspiring vision of the future is both a challenge and a promise that change is possible when we refuse to stand idly by. To fully appreciate Jane Fonda's fiery speech, it's essential to understand the incredible journey that led her to this moment. As the 60th recipient of SAG-AFTRA's highest tribute, the SAG Lifetime Achievement Award, Fonda's career has spanned over 6 decades. From her early days as a young actress in Tall Story to her roles in iconic films like Barbarella, Coming Home, 9 to 5, and The China Syndrome, Fonda has been a force in Hollywood, a trailblazer who paved the way for future generations of actors and activists. Her acceptance of the SAG Award is a culmination of years of hard work, sacrifice, and unwavering dedication to the craft of acting. It's a recognition not only of her cinematic achievements but also of her tireless activism and humanitarian efforts. For Fonda, this award is more than just a trophy, it's a symbol of a lifetime spent fighting for what she believes in, of a career defined by courage and compassion. In her acceptance speech, Fonda's words were both a tribute to her peers and a call to action. Her impassioned message is a reminder that every award, every accolade, is not the end of the journey but a new beginning, a chance to use one's platform to advocate for change, to champion the underdog, and to stand up against injustice. Jane Fonda's speech was also a direct response to the current political climate, a climate marked by the controversial policies and divisive rhetoric of the Trump administration. Although Fonda did not mention President Trump by name during her address, her message was unmistakable. In an era when political decisions affect the lives of millions, she urged the community to come together, to resist complacency, and to fight for the values that form the foundation of a just society. Her reference to the potential harm that a whole lot of people are going to be really hurt by what is coming our way served as a stark warning, a call to arms for those who believe that empathy and community can counteract the corrosive effects of political corruption and indifference. For Fonda, the fight is not just political, it's deeply personal, rooted in her own experiences as an activist in the 1970s and her ongoing commitment to causes like climate change and social justice. By urging her peers to help the vulnerable and project an inspiring vision of the future, Fonda is reminding us that the struggle for a better world requires collective effort. Her message is clear: in the face of adversity, isolation is not an option, unity is the key to resistance, and empathy is the fuel that will drive that unity. One of the most incendiary lines in Fonda's speech was her redefinition of the term woke. In today's political and cultural discourse, woke has often been used pejoratively to dismiss those who care about social justice as overly sensitive or politically correct. Fonda, however, turned this narrative on its head by proclaiming, "Empathy is not weak or woke. And by the way, woke just means you give a damn about other people." This powerful statement not only challenges the stigma attached to the term but also elevates it to a status of moral strength. For Fonda, being woke is synonymous with caring deeply about the plight of others, a quality that is essential for any society striving for justice and equality. Her words are a rallying cry for those who believe that compassion and empathy are not liabilities, but rather the very qualities that can drive meaningful change. By redefining woke, Fonda is reclaiming a term that has been twisted and weaponized in modern political debates. Her message is that to be woke is to be awake to the suffering of others, to be alert, informed, and ready to act in defense of those who cannot defend themselves. It's a call to reject cynicism and indifference, and to embrace a future where empathy is celebrated as a strength. Jane Fonda's acceptance speech has already begun to ripple through Hollywood and the broader cultural landscape. As a figure whose activism has spanned decades, her words carry weight not just for her peers in the film industry, but for millions of people around the world. In an era where celebrities are increasingly expected to use their platforms to speak out on political issues, Fonda's message is both timely and necessary. Her call for community, unity, and resistance resonates with audiences who are tired of divisive rhetoric and empty promises. It has sparked conversations on social media, inspired op-eds in major publications, and even prompted discussions among policymakers about the role of empathy in public discourse. For many, Fonda's speech is a beacon of hope, a reminder that in times of political and social upheaval, it is our shared humanity that will ultimately guide us toward a better future. The cultural impact of her message extends far beyond the SAG Awards. It serves as a template for how public figures can leverage their influence to advocate for real, transformative change. In classrooms, boardrooms, and community centers across the country, her words are being dissected and celebrated as a call for a new era of ethical leadership, one where compassion, empathy, and accountability are not just buzzwords, but guiding principles. Throughout her storied career, Jane Fonda has been a source of inspiration and controversy in equal measure. From her breakthrough roles in films like Clute and Coming Home to her pivotal activism during the anti-Vietnam War movement, Fonda has never shied away from speaking her mind. Her acceptance of the SAG Lifetime Achievement Award is not only a recognition of her cinematic contributions but also an acknowledgement of her lifelong commitment to social justice and political activism. Her speech is a powerful reminder that even in the face of overwhelming challenges, one person's voice can spark a movement. Fonda's enduring influence, her ability to challenge authority and inspire change, serves as a rallying cry for all who believe in the power of art to transform society. It's a legacy built not on accolades alone, but on the relentless pursuit of truth, justice, and compassion. As we celebrate her achievements, we are also reminded of the responsibility that comes with such influence. Fonda's message that community needs power is a testament to her belief that we all have a role to play in shaping the future. Whether it's through activism, public service, or simply by showing empathy in our daily lives, her call to action is one that transcends the world of entertainment and speaks to the very heart of what it means to be human. Looking ahead, Jane Fonda's impassioned SAG speech may well be a turning point in the evolution of celebrity activism. As the political climate grows increasingly polarized, the need for leaders who can bridge divides and foster genuine understanding has never been more urgent. Fonda's words serve as both a challenge and a promise that the fight for justice and human decency will continue as long as there are voices willing to speak out. Her call for resistance against policies that harm the vulnerable, her urging to build a big tent of unity, and her redefinition of what it means to be woke are all part of a broader vision for a future where empathy reigns supreme. It is a future where public figures are not afraid to get personal, to expose their vulnerabilities, and to use their platforms to demand accountability from those in power. The impact of her speech is likely to be felt for years to come, influencing not only the entertainment industry but also political discourse at every level. As we move forward, the challenge will be to translate these powerful words into tangible action, a task that requires courage, commitment, and a willingness to put empathy at the forefront of every decision we make. In this first installment of our over 1,000 word deep dive into Jane Fonda's landmark SAG Awards speech, we've explored the myriad dimensions of a moment that is as deeply personal as it is universally resonant. From the raw power of her declaration that empathy is not weak or woke to the historical context of her lifelong activism and the cultural ramifications of her call for unity, every element of her speech serves as a rallying cry for a better, more compassionate world. But our journey is far from over. In Part 2, we will continue to unravel the layers of this historic moment, diving into exclusive interviews with activists, exploring detailed analyses of the political and cultural context, and examining how Jane Fonda's words are inspiring a new generation to rise up against injustice. We'll also take a closer look at the ripple effects on Hollywood, the role of celebrity in shaping public discourse, and the enduring legacy of one of our most iconic voices. I'm Rex the Razzle Ravencroft, and thank you for joining me on this unforgettable journey into the heart of activism, art, and the power of empathy. Stay tuned for Part 2 of our deep dive into Jane Fonda's impassioned SAG Awards speech, where every explosive detail and every moving insight will be laid bare.